You're about to have an exclusive viewing of these footballers' insane car collections. Here are the list of the craziest cars of football players. Let's start with Karim Benzema. From Ferraris, G-Wagons, Rolls-Royce, Lambos, and who can forget he owns one of the rarest McLarens in the entire world. You can tell that being Ronaldo's teammate Rev, who spends $3 million on a car. Owning a Bugatti is crazy, but when you're worth over $70 million, well, it's no surprise. But that's not all Benzema's got. His whole car collection is valued at $8 million. He's pulling up to practice, flexing on the gram, and showing up at Project X party in his $1 million supercars. Next on the list got a car addiction too, Aubameyang. When you're getting busy signing $70 million deals, how could you not just buy every car you want on site? He got his $1 million car shipped to the UK immediately after signing with Arsenal. He's got Aston Martins, Bentleys, Ferraris, Porsches, and pretty much any other supercar you can think of. People swarm him even when he's just driving down the street. Aubameyang quickly developed an obsession with buying cars and getting them customized. When our guy Aubameyang touched on the UK, he realized his Lambo was looking kind of, well, different and not the good kind. I mean, look at those wraps. What was he thinking? Fortunately, the world-famous yiannimize hit him up offering some much-needed help to get that dusty-looking Lambo off the streets. Aubameyang did get roasted, but with a wrap like that, he had it coming. The two worked together and his Lambo went from a 1 to a 10 easily. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and notification bell to stay updated on our daily videos. Once he went gold, there was no turning back. He couldn't stop there. Everyone went crazy for the gold wrap. Aubameyang got not only his Lambo wrap in gold, he had gotten his Aston, Rover, R8, Euros, and Porsche wrap the same too. I mean, 6 gold cars? Our boy is on another level. But when he heard about players spending millions on their cars, he had to get in on the action too. Aubameyang took his Euros back to yiannimize from marble wraps, pinstripes around the car, and his name on his tires. It was an upgrade. Sure, the Euros is cool, but it still can't compare to his Ferrari. After he brought this Ferrari to yiannimize, this $500,000 whip got a whole transformation. It's so iconic that when Aubameyang was seen getting out of it, it was one of the most viral moments in his career. Funny enough, the Ferrari doesn't even cut loose the most expensive car he owns. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. You thought Aubameyang was crazy? Zlatan spends millions on his whips. Some of his cars are so expensive that they're illegal. Before we get into that, let's see where his car addiction started. When Zlatan was a young boy, his family couldn't even afford a car. He daydreamed about cars and dreamt of cars in his sleep. He promised himself he'd achieve all his dreams, and once he became a football prodigy, he did just that. Zlatan said so himself that when you come to his neighborhood, the first thing you'd want is to drive a cool car. Now our man Zlatan is earning millions. He started with $1 million Porsches to $1 million horses. Once Zlatan got a taste of living life at 150 miles per hour, he couldn't stop his addiction. Driving fast cars was in his DNA. That's why his biggest motivation to be one of the GOATs in football is so he could buy the fastest cars. Zlatan got a thing for Ferraris and has always had his eyes on them. You bet that it changed him once he could afford a LaFerrari. Zlatan reminisces about the times early on in his career, saying there weren't lots of people who had eyes on him. That didn't last too long because once he became known to be one of the greatest, all eyes were on him. Back then he could do most of whatever he wanted without people watching his every move. Zlatan doesn't like social media much because now he says that with everyone's phone, everyone has become paparazzi, so now he needs to watch his every move. One night, Zlatan was driving around, going 100 miles per hour chasing that adrenaline rush when suddenly blue and red lights were flashing behind him. The police were chasing him down, but the question is, did your boy Zlatan stop? If he didn't let anything or anyone stop him from being a legendary football player, do you think he'd stop getting pulled over by a cops? No, he kept driving until he found a tunnel under the highway and waited there, but the cops kept coming at him. Eventually, the chase stopped, but Zlatan remembers these moments fondly since he loves living over the edge. Neymar. From R8s, Ferraris, McLarens, and even spaceship-looking cars, You think it? Neymar got it. He's got cars that are straight up from Fast and Furious. The only problem Neymar has is that he can't even drive these cars on the streets to their full potential because swarms of people crowd him every time. Do you think he only rides in his supercars? Because Neymar can pull up in a helicopter too. I'm not kidding. He has his helipad to land his helicopter right in his backyard. This dude is living like a real king. He has cars that nobody else has in the entire world. I guess that's what you get when you're making around $100 million every year. After signing a $200 million deal in 2019, he decided why to settle for supercars like Audis and Ferraris when he can buy something nobody else can buy. A $4.5 million supercar, a Lamborghini Veneno. This whip looks like it's literally out of this world. Going 221 miles per hour in a V12 engine, it wouldn't be a surprise if it could take you out of this world. What's even crazier is that's not even the fastest car Neymar owns. He decided a $4.5 million car just wasn't enough. He needed to level up. Now you're probably wondering, how on earth does it get any better than that? Presenting to you the Lycan Hypersport with a twin-turbo F6 engine. It can go 245 miles per hour with 780 horsepower. They didn't put this car in Fast and Furious for nothing. It's valued at double the Lamborghini Veneno. We're far from finished. There's so much more. $33 million Ferraris, Rolls-Royce covered in actual diamonds. Things get even crazier. Lionel Messi. Messi would not let himself be left out of the list. His whole car collection is worth $50 million. One of his cars is so expensive, it's illegal. Messi has been spotted a lot in his Maseratis and Audis, but back in 2015 after winning the Ballon d'Or, he wanted to get in on the action and buy more million-dollar cars. He spent $2 million on one of the rarest cars in the world. This Pagani looks straight out of a Need for Speed game. Messi got fast in his whip that can go 208 miles per hour with 6-speed transmission and V12 engine. Fun fact, did you know that 208 miles per hour are how fast planes need to take off? So just imagine how fast that car can go. This car is so dangerously fast that it's not allowed on the road. So yeah, our boy Messi pretty much spent $2 million on a car he can't drive. But hey, I'm pretty sure all of your car enthusiasts would just die at the idea of seeing this Pagani in your garage. Messi received an anonymous tip back in 2016 that his dream car was being auctioned off. You bet he did everything to get his hands on it. Messi flew to Paris to get the auction and he was confident he could make the highest bid. Ronaldo unfortunately was there to get his way, offering millions to the dealer to have the car to himself. Messi wouldn't go down with a fight. Things were getting heated, but Messi wasn't leaving that auction without the car under his name. Eventually, the bids got so high that they go out of Ronaldo's budget. Fortunately for Messi. How much did he pay for it, you ask? Drumroll please. $33 million. Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo didn't let the defeat get in his head. After all, he does have car collection worth over $22 million. His car collection is so ridiculous that half of the money he spent on his car is just from his Bugatti collection. Back in my days, we'd just be collecting baseball cards, but our boy Ronaldo here is on a different level. He was busy collecting Bugattis. Now if that's not a different breed, I don't know what is. Back in 2016, he purchased a Bugatti Veyron that goes 253 miles per hour. It didn't take him too long until he bought another $3 million for Bugatti Chiron. He even got it customized with CR7 headrest and his logo. That's it for today. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up below, subscribe and hit that notification bell. We post videos every week, so stay notified. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the following video.